I wasn't supposed to hear it. They thought I was upstairs. They thought I was still the naive daughter who cried after every insult. Our annual family dinner was loud as always. Expensive wine, forced laughter, polished smiles hiding sharp intentions. I came downstairs to grab my charger when I heard my name. Not intentionally, instinctively. My older cousin Mark was speaking. "So what's the plan?" he asked. My mother laughed softly. "Simple. At the party we'll play that slideshow. Old photos. College dropout. Her failed startup. All of it." My chest tightened. My failed startup. The one I built alone. The one that collapsed because my own uncle pulled funding at the last minute. I leaned closer to the wall, and at midnight my stepfather added, "We toast to new beginnings without dead weight. Laughter. Calm. Casual. Cruel." For a moment, I felt 16 again. Small. Cornered. But something was different this time. I didn't cry. I didn't confront them. I walked quietly back upstairs, closed my door, sat in the dark, and thought, if they wanted a public moment, I would give them one, just not the one they planned. The New Year's party was always extravagant. Business partners, family friends, people who valued reputation above truth. My family cared deeply about image, which meant they were vulnerable. Over the next 72 hours, I made calls, not angry calls, strategic ones. I contacted an old investor who still believed in my ideas. I scheduled a transfer. I finalized paperwork that had been waiting for the right moment. You see, when my startup failed, it didn't disappear. It pivoted, quietly, under a different name. And while my family believed I was unemployed and unstable, I had just signed a licensing deal worth more than my stepfather's annual salary. They didn't know, but they would. At midnight, the night of the party arrived. Champagne towers sparkled. A giant digital screen stood near the dance floor, perfect for a slideshow. I saw my cousin adjusting something on a laptop, probably the humiliation presentation. I smiled politely at guests, played my role. Invisible daughter. Embarrassing disappointment. 10 minutes before midnight, my mother clinked her glass. "Everyone gather around," she announced brightly. The countdown was approaching. My heart beat steadily. Not fast, steady, because control feels different than fear. The screen flickered to life. The first slide appeared. An old photo of me. College. Nervous smile. Laughter rippled softly through the crowd. My mother took the microphone. "As we enter a new year," she began sweetly, "sometimes we must leave certain failures behind." The screen suddenly went black. Her smile froze. Then a new image appeared, a professional company logo, my logo. Gasps spread across the room. I stepped forward. "Actually," I said calmly, "I prepared something too." And that's when the real countdown began. The room shifted instantly. Confusion replaced amusement. My stepfather rushed toward the laptop, but it was too late. The system was already overridden. I held the remote. I figured I continued evenly. Since we're sharing highlights, I should update everyone properly. The next slide appeared. Revenue numbers. 6 figures. Then 7. Whispers. Another slide. Licensing agreement. Signed last week. Partner companies, recognizable names. Silence thickened. My mother lowered the microphone slowly. I could see it in her eyes. She hadn't prepared for this version of me. "For the past 2 years," I said, "my company has been operating under a private brand. We've finalized expansion this week." Mark stared at the screen. "That's not possible." "It is," I replied. I walked toward the center of the room. No one here funded it. No one here supported it. But that's fine, because sometimes the best motivation is doubt. A few guests began clapping. Not loudly, but sincerely. My stepfather's face reddened. "You're trying to embarrass us?" he snapped quietly. I tilted my head slightly. "No," I said. "I'm correcting the narrative." The digital clock appeared on the screen. 30 seconds to midnight. I looked around the room. At this time last week, I continued calmly. I finalized a buyout offer. The final slide appeared. Ownership percentage. Minority stake in my stepfather's company. The same company he mocked me for not understanding. Gasps. Real ones this time. You didn't, he began. I did, I answered. The countdown began aloud. 10, 9, 8. Guests stared at the screen. 7, 6. My mother looked pale. 5, 4, 3. I'm not dead weight, I said softly. 2, 1. Happy New Year. Confetti cannons fired from the ceiling. But no one was laughing now. Midnight cheers mixed with stunned silence. I handed the microphone back to my mother. You wanted a toast? I said quietly. To new beginnings. I picked up a glass of champagne. To growth, I added, and to never underestimating someone who has nothing left to lose. I didn't storm out. I didn't argue. I stayed, smiling calmly as guests approached me instead of them. Because reputation changes quickly when truth enters the room. And that night, the countdown they planned for me ended theirs instead.